Hey everybody, welcome to our tutorial on animation retargeting for your character creator character in Unreal Engine. So what we're going to be able to do by the end of this tutorial is import in our character creator character to our project and apply some of the animations, some of the free animations that are included in this project. You may recognize this as the default third-person project that comes with Unreal Engine. And you can also download other animations as well. If you go to Unreal's Marketplace here, I'll just go to my Google Chrome real quick. I have this one loaded up, this animation starter pack, so this is a free download available for you. And you can also apply these animations to your character creator characters, so you can, create a soldier type character if you want and import that in as well. Let's just go ahead and close this down right now. So essentially what we're going to be doing in this tutorial is creating a rig. Now, a rig is an asset that basically passes information between two separate skeletons, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment here. So first of all, what I want to do is import in my character. So I'm going to go into the mannequin here, and under character, we have these folders here. The character on the screen right now, this is the default character for this project here. It's the Unreal skeleton. So let's go ahead. I'm going to create a new folder by right-clicking here, and we're going to load in our character Max, which is actually a character creator character from Studio Tokamotion. And we're going to go into that folder here. And I'm going to go to my desktop and simply import that character in. So you can see max.fbx. You get this by exporting from 3D Exchange into FBX format. So let's go ahead and click and drag this guy into our Unreal folder right here. And for our FBX import options, all we need to do in this case, we're not going to worry about morph targets or animations. All we need to do is make sure we have this use T0A as reference pose, which means use frame 0 as a reference pose there, and import all. Now, it's important to note here that this character, I've actually added a root to this character's skeleton hierarchy. When you export the general character from 3D Exchange, from Character Creator at this point, it's not going to have a root. And we'll talk more in detail about that in just a moment. I'm going to link as well in the description to a separate video, which will show you how to add that root item into the skeleton hierarchy in Maya. And you can also do it in like Blender and free programs like that as well. But I just wanted to make note that when you export them directly from Character Creator, your characters won't have a root. And I'll show you what I mean in just a sec here. As we load up Max, I'm going to double click on his skeletal mesh here, and you can see his the material for his face and his shorts there are still compiling. So this is essentially the character that we're going to import in, and we're going to apply an animation to him. And the animation that we're going to apply, I'll go ahead and load that up real quick. We can go to Animations and this third-person walk. I'm going to just simply double-click that. This is the third-person walk that we're going to be applying to our character Max. You can see a nice, confident stroll right there. All right, so let's go ahead and just close this down for now. And let's go back into our boy Max over here. Now, for Max, what we need to do, like I mentioned before, is we need to create a rig. And that rig, because the skeletons of the Unreal default characters, default rig, and character creator are different, we need to create a rig asset, which allows us to pass information between two separate skeletons. So it kind of acts as like an intermediary asset. And we need to do that. That's the first thing we need to do. So this is the fun stuff. Let's go to our characters and mesh. And you can see here, this is the UE4 mannequin, the default mannequin. Let's double click on the skeleton here. And what we need to do in order to do that, like I mentioned, create our rig. So here there's an option to set up rig. So what we're going to do is set up a rig here. First we need to select a rig, and we're going to select a humanoid rig for bipedal characters with 2 arms and 2 legs. And you can see all of these fields here are already filled in because this is, in fact, the default UE4 mannequin, and all these fields have been automatically populated. So this is basically our source right here, and we can just go ahead and save pose, and we don't need to worry about this for now. So let's minimize this window, and let's go into our character Max. We can select his skeletal mesh as well, and we need to do the same thing, set up a rig. So you can see it basically allows you to retarget animation to different skeletons using the same rig. And it'll use this information to convert the data. All right, so hopefully that's clear. select the humanoid rig here, the same humanoid rig, and now you can see that these items are not populated. Now this is where it gets a little bit fun. Basically you have to select all the individual bones on your character. We can show the character's bones here just so you can see a little bit better. Show the bones. So you need to go one for one and select the bones on your character. The bones on the for the source, and you select the bones on your current character. So there's different skeletal rigs being created every day. There's 3D Studio Max, CS Biped, there's My Human IK and stuff like that. And what you're going to have to do is make them all compatible with your source skeletal rig in this case, which is the Unreal 4 mannequin. So let's go and select our first thing, which is our root. And now this is the bone that I added. If you remember, I mentioned that before. Let's select the bone right here, and this is the root. So this is the root for the character, Tokamotion CC Guy 01. Now if you didn't add the root in Maya or Max or whatever, you will only have this hip. You won't have this root item right here. You'll only have the G6 hip. So I'm going to select the Tokamotion Guy root right there. I'm also going to load in, I'm going to go to my desktop here. I have this Excel file, which is a rig reference file. This will basically show you which bones in the Unreal character correspond with which bones on your character creator character. So I'll keep this loaded up, and I'll include this for free download in the description as well. So you can see now we need to go to pelvis to hip and spine 01 to G6 waist. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Oops, pelvis, where are we here? Oh, there we go. So pelvis to hip. All right, and then we need to select spine 01 is the waist, and I believe spine 02 is spine 01, and then spine 03 is spine 02. All right, so this stuff is pretty simple. I'm going to do the basic stuff here, and then I'm going to skip through the advanced stuff and play some music for you guys, since we don't want to spend all day watching me select all these different items here. So clavicle left. Let's go to our Excel file here. Clavicle left will be, where is it? There we go. L clavicle. So the naming conventions are pretty standard. You can see right here. You can probably guess most of them. So let's go ahead and do that for now. Let's go back into Unreal here. Clavicle left. You need to select you can also even type just like clavicle in the search field. This is often a lot faster. So I'll select clavicle left there. Upper arm is just upper arm right here. We need to make sure we select upper arm left. So let's type in upper arm and left upper arm. There we go. Lower arm, just type in arm. And lower arm is forearm in your character creator character. So left forearm, there we go. And hand, we can just type in hand. Left hand. Clavicle, setting clav again. Right clavicle. And you can also select the bones from here as well. I may talk about that a little bit later, but let's go ahead and just keep it simple right now. So arm, upper arm right. So we need to have upper arm right there. And the names for the character creator bones might change in the near future here. So it may not always be RLG6L hand. We may have something different coming up in the near future here. So keep that in mind as well. But generally, everything is the same. So this is for our lower arm for the left, for the right side. Right forearm. There we go. And right hand. All right, and neck, I believe neck should be neck twist, if I'm not mistaken. Neck 01, yeah, neck twist 01. All right, so let's go and select neck twist 01. There we go. And head, I think should just be head. Yep, G6 head. All right, pretty straightforward. So just type in head. Using the search field saves a ton of time. Trust me, you don't want to be kind of searching through all those items in the hierarchy. It gets confusing after a while. So thigh, this is the left thigh. And the left calf. There we go. And the left foot. Pretty simple. And we'll do the right side, right thigh. And like I mentioned, for the more advanced stuff, I'm not going to be wasting too much time selecting all these items, so you don't have to wait for me to finish it all. All right, so now we have the basic bones all rigged up. So the root to this root right here, all the bones to their respective bones on our character creator character. All right, so at this point here, we're just going to go ahead and show advanced. And this is the point I'm just going to play some music and skip through for you guys. You can always use the Excel reference file to get the correct corresponding bones set up. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so that pretty much does it. You can see you can actually just copy and paste, if you have, for example, all the fingers, you can just type in L_Fing, and you can copy and paste that in the search field, which makes things a lot faster. We're not going to worry about all these IK foot and IK hand stuff down here, as well as these custom fields. We don't need to worry about that right now, but we do need to make sure that we save the pose. Alright, so we've filled in all those fields, all those necessary fields there. We've done all the rigging. And now what we need to do is we need to harmonize the T-pose. And the reason for this is because the Unreal 4 Mannequin has a different T-pose. We can see it right here. This is the T-pose for the Unreal Mannequin right here. And the T-pose for our character creator character is quite different, as you can see right here. So what we need to do is harmonize those two T-poses. So we need to take the mannequin, the UE4 skeleton here, and we need to make it more like the T-pose for our Max character. So to do that, we can go ahead and just show the bones in this case here. And I want to just change this from a A pose into a T pose. So to do that, we can just take the upper arms and kind of lift them. They're snapped at 10 degrees right now, or 5 degrees, I believe. You can change the snapping degree by going to this item up here and changing the snapping degree right there. I think that should be good. We can select the upper arm on the left side and bring that one up as well. Oops, what are we doing here? There we go. Okay, I think 45 degrees should be fine. Might be a little bit high. Let's do 40 degrees. Make sure this one's at 40 degrees as well. Oops. Alright, that looks pretty even. And maybe take the forearms here and bring those down slightly as well. We don't want to select the twist. Make sure you don't select the twist bones. I think that should be okay. Oops, I selected the hand there. Just kind of haphazardly selecting stuff here. You want to try and make it as accurate as possible, especially when you're doing professional, more detailed animation. And you can see as well here that his arms are slightly forward, so we need to take those lower arms and bring those a little bit straighter out. About 20 degrees should be good. I think 20 works fine. Okay, and for this lower arm as well, bring it out about 20 degrees. All right, and in addition to that, we need to take his thigh bones here, and bring those in. Whoops, not that way. Control-Z that by selecting the wrong bones here. You can also select from the skeleton tree here. Let's just type in thigh. Whoops, search skeleton tree for thigh. There we go. There we can select the thigh left right there. We can bring that in this way. There we go. Just 5 degrees will be fine. Thigh right. And bring that in. Alright. And if you want to get picky, you can do the fingers as well. So let's, whoops. Are we zooming in here? There we go. Still getting used to these Unreal controls after all this time. So let's just type in, let's see. The fingers, we can select the fingers separately, I believe. Thumb, we'll just raise that thumb up like this. Maybe not. Raise that index finger. I think we can probably find it. There we go. Index, right there, middle finger. Let's raise that a little bit. 20 degrees, I think, for each one should be fine. Pinky, we'll raise that. 20. And what's the other one that's left? Ring finger here. 20 degrees. There we go. Keep it consistent. And where's our thumb? There's our thumb. Raise that thumb up like this and kind of maybe bring it in a little bit as well. Oops. There we go. That should be fine. We're not going to be too picky for the hands in this tutorial, but it should look something. You can always use Max's pose as the reference there. So let's do the same thing for the other hand here. Index, let's raise it up 20. Oops. Well, this one, the hand, looks like it needs to be raised a little bit as well. So we'll select the hand, raise that 10 degrees, 15 degrees. Let's do 10 degrees. There we go. And then we can do all the fingers here. This is all the fun stuff. We get to harmonize the T-poses. Hooray! And pinky, 20 degrees. Ring finger, 20 degrees. There we go. And our thumb. That up 40 degrees. And bring her in about 10 degrees. There we go. All right. We're going to go with this T-pose right here. So this is our new T-pose for our Unreal character. It still seems to me like this arm might be a little bit higher. Maybe I'm just seeing things though. All right, we'll work with this anyways. So let's go ahead now in the Retarget Manager tab right here. Now what we want to do is we want to save the pose. And after we save the pose, it'll reset back to the A pose here. But you can always view the pose to view and hide pose to see the reference pose right there. All right, so we're good to go. Basically, we have our characters in the same pose. You can see right there, Max's pose and our Unreal Mannequin right there. So we can close this down now. And let's go ahead and retarget that motion now. So this is the part where we need to duplicate that animation asset and retarget it. So that animation that I showed you before in the animations folder right here, the third person walk. Let's simply right click it. And you want to select Retarget Anim Assets. And here you want to duplicate Anim Assets and retarget. So let's go ahead and do that. And it'll show our source file right here, our source skeleton. And we need to select a target skeleton. In this case, the Max skeleton appears because it has the same rig asset assigned to it. So we'll select that right there. And we're going to go ahead and press Select. And here you can see it says duplicated that asset, the animation asset, to this folder, the Max folder. All right, so let's go ahead and double-click this one so we can kind of see it in action here. I'll kind of expand it a little bit so it looks a little bit larger. There we go. All right, so this is the walk for our UE4 mannequin, and then we can go ahead into the Max folder and find the same animation, third-person walk copy. You can see it's been copied into this folder right here. We can double-click that. And here is Max doing the exact same thing. And you can see the toes, there may be a little bit of issue with the toes there. We need to do a couple things here before we go to our next step here. And let's just go ahead and pause this for now. We need to go over to our advanced options in the skeleton tree. And under Tokomotion CC Guy 01, the root, we're going to select, or rather right click on the root option here. And we want to select recursively set translation retargeting skeleton right here. Okay, and that's going to take our character into the ground. But what we want to do in this case here is we want to select, instead of skeleton here, we want to select animation scaled. And we need to do the same thing for the G6 hip as well. So we'll just select animation scale for the hip, and now our character is back on the ground. And that should have fixed all of the issues that we were having before. So let's go ahead and play it back one more time. I'm going to just select off the character so we can see him without the bones. All right, so there's our animation right there. Looking cool and threatening right there. So this is basically essentially the process of taking your character into Unreal, doing some animation retargeting, setting up a rig, and transferring that animation from one character to the other. So we can go ahead and let's undock this guy so we can kind of see them side by side here. There we go. Let's stretch him out here a little bit. Alright, so that's about it for this tutorial, guys. Again, what we did here is we took the character from FBX into Unreal Engine, and we set up our rig asset so we can copy or communicate the animation information from one rig to another, from one skeleton rig to another, and this is the result right here. So again, we created the rig asset, we set up the rig for a character creator skeleton, we harmonized the T-pose with the source skeleton, and we duplicated that animation asset. So this is a really useful procedure for the fact that you can now use all of the motions that you have in your Unreal library all the free motions that come on the Unreal Marketplace, and anything else that you have, you can use them on your character creator characters in Unreal Engine. It's similar to Unity Mechanim as well. Now you can blend the motions together using the Unreal program to kind of create a in-game character. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Make sure you check out our forums at forum.reallusion.com, and you can email me at developer@reallusion.com if you have any questions about this procedure. And that's about it. So thanks for watching.